Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and share your comments about the exciting end of the story. The second Exodus. Let the story begin. Earth was dying, and everyone knew it. The sun's fury, a relentless and unforgiving storm, was scorching the planet beyond repair. In sleek, modern cities, people packed their essential belongings, eyes filled with fear and determination. Ships, named after explorers of old, stood ready to ferry humankind to the stars. Captain Amelia Roth walked through the bustling hangar of the starship Exodus. The massive vessel hummed with life, thrumming engines providing a steady heartbeat. "Keep those supplies moving," Roth ordered, her voice steady. Her sharp blue eyes monitored every detail. Beside her, First Officer James Carter matched her stride. "Do you think Tau Ceti will be safe?" he asked, a hint of worry in his voice. Roth's jaw tightened. "It has to be. We don't have another choice." Families clung to each other, whispers filling the air with promises of a new beginning. Technicians double-checked systems, while children stared wide-eyed at the alien starscapes displayed on the ship's screens. Life, packed into metal cocoons, was about to leap into the unknown. Roth paused near a viewport, her gaze distant. "My parents would have loved this," she muttered. She turned to Carter, her expression hardening. "We'll make it, for them and everyone else." The signal to board blared through the hangar. Roth took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. "Let's bring our people home." She led the way to the command deck, where the final preparations for launch were underway. The future of humanity lay in the hands of people like her, standing resolute against the dark unknown. The vastness of space was deceptive. As Exodus approached Tau Ceti, the stars seemed close enough to touch. Amelia Roth sat in the command chair, her eyes fixed on the view screen. "Status?" she asked. Carter glanced at his console. "All systems green. Entering Tau Ceti's orbit now." Relief washed over the crew. They had made it. The relief was short-lived. Without warning, sleek, dark ships emerged from the shadows, surrounding Exodus. "Unidentified vessels! They're locking weapons!" shouted a technician. Roth's heart raced. "Raise shields! Evasive maneuvers!" But it was too late. The alien ships struck with pinpoint accuracy, disabling Exodus's engines and weapon systems. Chaos erupted. Panels sparked. Alarms blared. Roth clung to her chair as the ship shuddered violently. "Prepare for boarding," she ordered. Moments later, the aliens breached the hull. They were tall, clad in exoskeletal armor, their movements precise and unified. The Dominion. The crew fought bravely, but the Dominion's technology and coordination proved overwhelming. Roth found herself trapped in the hold, surrounded. "Surrender!" a Dominion commander intoned, its voice distorted and cold. Roth's eyes met Carter's, both filled with unspoken regret. Hours later, Roth awoke in a dimly lit cell, her head throbbing. Dr. Lucas Grant sat across from her, dark circles under his eyes. "Welcome to hell," he said grimly. "They call themselves the Dominion. They've enslaved entire species." Roth surveyed the cramped cell. Other humans, all wearing the same defeated expression, huddled together. "We need to fight," she said softly but firmly. Grant raised an eyebrow. Easier said than done. He leaned in closer, lowering his voice. "But there might be a way. I've heard whispers of something powerful hidden in their labs." Roth's resolve hardened. "Then we find it. We break free." Grant's eyes gleamed with a spark of hope. "You're talking about a rebellion." Roth nodded, determination etched on her face. "We're not just fighting for us. We're fighting for all of humanity." In the shadows of their cell, a plan began to form. Amelia Roth moved quietly through the dim corridors of the Dominion's facility, her heart hammering. Shadows danced on the walls as she crept towards the lab. Dr. Lucas Grant was beside her, his face set with grim determination. "This way," he whispered, pointing to a door marked with strange alien symbols. Inside, the lab was filled with advanced technology. Strange devices hummed and glowed, casting eerie light. Roth and Grant slipped inside, their eyes scanning for the artifact. "Look for anything that stands out," Roth instructed softly. "They wouldn't hide it where it's obvious." Their search was interrupted by footsteps. Roth flattened against the wall, holding her breath. A Dominion scientist entered, oblivious to the intruders. Grant moved quickly, a makeshift club in hand. With a swift strike, the scientist crumpled to the ground. "Hurry!" Grant urged. Roth's eyes fell on a pedestal in the corner. A small, glowing crystal rested atop it, pulsing rhythmically. "This has to be it," she said, grabbing the artifact. The crystal felt warm in her hand, almost alive. As she turned it over, flashes of ancient knowledge flooded her mind. Grant watched in amazement. "What is it doing?" Roth shook her head, trying to process the visions. It's showing me things, strategies, technologies, everything we need to fight back." They were interrupted by a blaring alarm. "We've been found out," Roth said. "We need to move now." They bolted from the lab, the artifact clutched tightly. Dominion guards poured into the corridors, their weapons raised. Roth and Grant sprinted, dodging energy blasts. They reached a hidden alcove and ducked inside, breathing heavily. "What now?" Grant asked, his voice shaking. Roth looked at the artifact, its glow reflecting in her eyes. "We gather the others. We train. We fight. This time we finish it." Grant nodded, the fear in his eyes replaced with a spark of hope. "Then let's start a rebellion they'll never forget." As they slipped back into the shadows, the weight of their mission settled on Roth's shoulders. Failure was not an option. Humanity's future depended on them harnessing the ancient power within the artifact. In the heart of the underground hideout, humans gathered. The dim light revealed faces both weary and determined. Captain Amelia Roth stood at the center, the mysterious crystal cradled in her hand. "This is our chance," she began, her voice steady. "This artifact can change everything." Dr. Lucas Grant stepped forward, holding makeshift weaponry. "We've done tests. The crystal is a conduit for knowledge and power. It can enhance our abilities, our strength." He handed a small device to Roth. "Here, try this." Roth placed her hand on the device, and the crystal's glow intensified. She felt a surge of energy, a rush of strength. The room buzzed with excitement and fear. A young engineer, Maya, stepped closer. "Can it really make us stronger?" Roth nodded. "Not just stronger, smarter, faster. We can use their technology against them." Training began immediately. Men and women paired off, sparring with newfound agility and precision. Roth moved through the room, offering encouragement. Each moment was precious. Each day brought them closer to their goal. "Focus on your breathing," she instructed one group. "Use your enhanced senses to anticipate." The relentless drills continued, honing skills and building unity. Maya, now a fierce fighter, approached Roth during a break. "How do you stay so strong?" she asked. Roth smiled faintly. "I've seen what we're up against. We have no choice but to fight." As they trained, their bond grew stronger. Stories were shared, laughter mingled with the grim determination. It was a fleeting respite, but it reminded them what they were fighting for. Families, friends, a future free from oppression. One night, Roth stood watch at the entrance. Grant joined her, eyes scanning the horizon. "Tomorrow's the day," he said quietly. She nodded, gripping the crystal. "We hit their core. We free our people." Grant placed a hand on her shoulder. "You've given them hope. That's more powerful than any weapon." With dawn approaching, final preparations were made. Weaponry was distributed, plans whispered. Roth addressed the group one last time. "We've trained for this. We fight not just for ourselves, but for everyone still trapped. We end this tyranny." Applause rippled through the ranks. They were ready. As the first light of day broke through the darkness, the rebels, empowered by the artifact, moved silently towards the Dominion stronghold. The battle for humanity's future was about to begin. The Dominion stronghold loomed before them, its dark structure intimidating. Captain Amelia Roth led the charge, her heart steady and fierce. The artifact's power coursed through her, giving her strength and clarity. Shadows flitted around the entrance as the rebels moved in silence. Inside, guards patrolled with a cold precision. Roth signaled to her team. "Now!" she whispered. They struck swiftly, overwhelming the aliens with enhanced speed and strength. Roth's moves were precise, her fists like iron. She felt invincible. In the heart of the stronghold, Supreme Exarch Kravos awaited. His eyes were dark, emotionless. You dare challenge the Dominion? He hissed as Roth and her team burst into the chamber. Roth raised her chin, defiant. We fight for freedom. The battle was fierce. Kravos moved with terrifying speed, matching Roth's newfound abilities. Energy crackled as Roth dodged and attacked, using every skill she'd honed. Around her, the rebels clashed with Dominion soldiers, using their enhanced powers to hold the line. Dr. Lucas Grant, armed with a pulsar rifle, provided covering fire. Keep moving, he shouted, his eyes locked on Roth. She pressed forward, the crystal glowing brighter with each step. Kravos' attacks grew more frantic, and Roth could see the fear in his eyes. Summoning all the power the artifact granted, Roth unleashed a devastating blow. Kravos staggered, a look of shock etched on his face. This is for humanity, she said, her voice steady. With one final strike, Kravos fell, his defeated form crumpling to the ground. Silence filled the chamber as the Dominion forces faltered, their connection to the hive mind shattered. We've done it, Maya shouted, her voice echoing in the vast room. Cheers erupted from the rebels, a mingling of relief and triumph. Roth knelt beside the fallen leader, glancing at Grant. Is it over? She asked, her voice soft. Grant nodded. For now, but we'll need to rebuild. The galaxy won't be the same. Stepping out into the light, Roth looked at the faces around her. They had won, but the journey was far from over. This is just the beginning, she said, her gaze meeting each pair of eyes. We have a new world to build. As they walked away from the stronghold, Roth felt a sense of peace. With every step, she knew they were forging a new path. Humanity had risen, stronger and more united than ever before. The stars awaited, full of promise and possibility.